Oh, so you're begging me, China? You're begging me? China, listen to me.
So, there you have it. The USA is now claiming it's talking to China about its trade war. Meanwhile, China is saying they ain't talking to us. It's all fake news. Anyways, China says, we ain't talking until the USA shows some respect and manners, not only to us, but to the entire world. Meanwhile, the major superstores like Walmart and Target, they're now saying we're going to have empty shelves here in America if we don't resolve this trade war. It would appear, for the first time in history, the Western media now believes China's telling the truth and not the USA.
Breaking news. Trump refused China's claim of no trade talks. Not only there's talk, I have the list of person who's in the talk. Just don't ask me how I get it. I'm not a spy, remember that. Okay, here is the list. Something wrong? We too low? Holy hook? Bang, ding, out. Here you go.
You ever seen somebody lie so confidently they start believing in it themselves? That's Donald Tiger King Trump for you. Just out here improving foreign policy like it's open mic night at Mar-a-Lago. If you're tired of Orange Julius turning those White House briefings into just fan fiction, drop a comment and even share what's your favorite name or nickname for Mango Mussolini. Save, like, follow, and tag someone that might need a laugh for today. Because I tell you, you can't write this stuff. You can't.
China has moved on. They have moved their beef and pork imports to Australia, and they have moved their soybean imports over to Brazil. And they're not gonna come back, you guys. On top of that, I just heard from somebody who lives in Indiana, where I'm originally from, and they said they're not getting any steel. So how are they supposed to build homes and cars if they don't have any steel? I think y'all need to get off this Americanized news, because you're not hearing the truth on Fox News and CNN. What's really going on is China ain't talking to them at all. And China hasn't given anything. They haven't dropped anything. They haven't made not one promise to the United States for a drop in these tariffs. Not one. So where are we coming up with these accusations?
So how many times have you heard Trump say that the Chinese will pay for the tariffs? The Chinese will pay the cost of the tariffs. Well, he just admitted that the cost of the tariffs gets added to the price of the product. It gets added to the price of the product. That means consumers pay. Way to go, stable genius.
200,000 shipping containers stuck, and now Walmart calling the shots. Here's what we are talking about today. Right now, there are about 200,000 shipping containers from China to US, all empty, all stuck because of the trade war. And this week, the CEOs of Walmart and Target privately warned Trump that his tariff policy could mess up the supply chains and lead to empty shelves really soon. So what happened? Trump listened to the corporate lords and tried to go back to the table with China to lower the tariffs. Maybe regular people should stop calling their local congressmen and start talking to their local Walmart managers instead. Seems like that works better. It takes about 25 days for a container to get from China to US. So with all these delays, there are going to be some empty shelves days ahead. Now you know.
So guys, I just realized after doing an earlier TikTok that as of yesterday, China is refusing to negotiate with the United States and saying that there are several thousands of shipping containers that was sent back to China that will not go out to the U.S. customers who ordered those shipments from China. Now, because China is refusing to negotiate with Trump, that's what it said, not with America, but China is refusing to negotiate with Trump. What does that mean for the U.S.? Partially, it probably means that China is going to stand firm and China is going to continue to stand stoic based off the tariffs that was implemented on them. So again, this is not a game for them. For some in the U.S., this may be a game for the U.S., but for China, China is taking the damage extremely serious. And now it's saying that Trump is starting and about to implement 25% tariffs on automotive industry imports. So, which means that this is probably going to put the automotive industry in a very, very tight predicament. As you guys know, a lot of our parts from our vehicles, even our American-made vehicles, those parts are made in China. A lot of foundries right here in the U.S. has closed down back in the late 90s to early 2000s. I know because I was a foundry worker where we made parts for the automotive industry. But a lot of those companies had moved over to China because it's cheaper to make those parts in China and Mexico. So if Trump does implement this 25% tariff on the automotive industry, this is going to be bad for a lot of people. So my advice to a lot of you out there who like to run out and get new cars every time that you get a tax check or get a little bit of money, or you get your car paid off and you're ready to trade it in for something new, don't do it. Keep the vehicle that you have, especially like you got some vehicles right now that's on the road 10 years. This Mustang that I'm sitting there right now is a 2015 Mustang. I got it in 2017 and it's 2025. So this car is well over 10 years old. There's nothing wrong with this car right now. Actually, it is 10 years old right now, 2015 to 2025. It's 10 years. So keep your vehicle, just keep the maintenance up on it, because this tariff on the automotive industry is going to hit everyone hard. That means when you go to a dealership, that down payment that was $1,000 is going to probably be $3,000 or $4,000. Your car breaks down, you need a part, it's going to cost more for you to get that part shipped to you or to the people that's going to fix your car. So these tariffs that's going on is really, really serious. But from what I'm understanding, China is refusing to negotiate with the U.S. And this is extremely bad. This is another blow to the U.S. Even though some of us don't see it right now, it's going to affect the jobs and everything for the people who work in these automotive places. We have a lot of store shelves that's running empty, like Target. You got Lowe's. There's like a whole lot of retail giants that get a lot of this stuff from China, that shelves are actually going empty. And if you don't believe me, go into one of those stores right now and you're going to see a bunch of shelves empty. A lot of those shipping containers were sent back. They're not allowed to come into the U.S. And so I don't know what's going to happen from here, but you know, I still think, do I think that we headed towards a recession like I did a while back? I still think that we're going to be headed towards a recession, but I don't think the recession is going to be as bad as I initially thought it was months ago. But I still think that we headed towards a recession. I think the automotive industry is probably going to be in trouble. So I'll let you guys know what I find out next. Thanks for watching.
The tariff and energy policy from the United States are totally ridiculous. I'm going to show you the facts that electricity can be free. This is the solar carport we manufacture and we supply to all over the world except the United States. There are 24 kilowatt solar modules on the top, the battery storage system with inverters and EV charging solutions all included. This system, we can have 48 kilowatt hours electricity generated daily, and we can storage 15 kilowatt hour electricity in the batteries, and we can use it at night. So it's totally sufficient for the family for the whole day consumption. I'm currently charging my Tesla. It's a very nice solution. However, we are facing big tariffs from the United States. Modules right now is 245% tariffs. And this aluminum structure, I think, is up to 145. The batteries is 179%. Inverters, 145%. And the EV is 100 to 200. Not certain yet. You're not going to believe that, how cheap the EVs are in China. Tesla is $30,000 Model Y, and this is $10,000 EV, and this is $15,000. I don't know what's going on in the United States. Apparently, the politicians don't want to use the free energy from solar and blocking all these technologies from China to enter USA. Please help me out. I really don't understand it.
The fact that two white men by the name of J.D. Vance and Donald Trump has, in less than 3 months, taken the United States, the leading force economically, culturally, in all ways, in the world, has just destroyed all of our standing, literally in 3 months. We are no longer the leaders in democracy. We are no longer the leaders in independence and freedom. We are no longer an economic powerhouse and empire. All the other countries are now planning the world without us. And for whatever reason, the audacity, the pompousness, the arrogance, and I'm just going to say it, the arrogance of white men. Y'all about to get y'all asses handed to y'all.
The craziest thing about America right now is that, like, the world actually hates us. The entire world hates us. And they've already kind of hated us, but now they, like, outwardly hate us. Everybody we used to do trade with, all of our allies, the global economy literally hates America. And a lot of these Trump supporters who are still delusional enough to support him, even after he's defunded their child's education, taken their farms away, ruined their veterans' benefits, affected their Social Security, rolled back their constitutional right to freedom of speech and freedom of press, greatly infringed upon due process for anybody who sets foot on American soil, depleted their tourist economy as well as red state export economies. You know, even after all of that, there's these people who still support him and think that he's doing a good job and don't understand that not only is he globally hated and ruining their lives, people think he's a joke. Nobody's scared of him. His Secretary of Defense is Hegseth, who literally texts his wife on an unsecured line after being provided one by the fucking Pentagon. His launch plans for their attacks in the Middle East. Like, guys, we're literally a joke. We are globally a fucking joke. And, like, you know, the people who don't support him know that his supporters are usually bottom of the barrel, low end of the gene pool. They're the curve that puts us at a 5th grade reading comprehension level. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know in America and the rest of the world, for the most part, is being far more generous and kind than they should by specifically targeting import export to red states. But contrary, I don't think you guys get it. Nobody is afraid of Donald Trump. Nobody is actually afraid of him, except the brown people with visas and green cards being sent to concentration camps in El Salvador. On a global scale, he doesn't. Him and his Secretary of Defense don't have the mental wherewithal to win a war, even if they decided to start one. But now he's backpedaling on trade wars, on actual plans for war. Nobody is afraid of this man. Do you understand that we would get dog walked if they decided to, for whatever reason, bring in an attack to American soil? We do not have competent leaders. Nobody is afraid of Donald Trump. Everybody on a global scale is banding together to make him completely fucking irrelevant, which they've already done. But even if he did decide to start a war, you think an 80-year-old throwing a global trade temper tantrum, who has his Secretary of Defense, who was a fucking news anchor prior, texting his wife launch plans, his personal attorney, and international journalists, you think the world is afraid of America?
I'm glad you watched this extent. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that you're spending your precious time at Comfort for Life. Thank you so much for your like, for your subscribe, for commenting. I really appreciate the time that you are spending on this platform. It's not wasted. We are learning and the world is watching. So allow me to ask this question. Was this tariff war meant to be a laughing matter or just a joke? Or help me understand, because right now the turning that things are taking, it's now so uncertain. How do China gets to believe the US after this tariff?
Do you want to know why I talk about trade war? It's because it's not something that is reversible. Think of it this way. When you break up with someone, that's kind of what a trade war is. You end this relationship with someone. It's very difficult for you to go back in that relationship. It's kind of like ending a marriage. It's really hard for you to go back to that same person. And that's why it's never good to go into trade war to begin with.
I also want to mention something on the hatred that this lady spoke of. The world hates America. Let's say the world hates America. Like, really? Do you hate America? Do I hate America? Do we hate you guys? Yeah, we've reached to a point where we now starting to differentiate between politics and life and people. We've reached a point where we are now trying to separate politics and Americans, because I know that whatever is happening is not what all of you believe. We've seen MAGA people, speaking of them not paying their phone bill. So it is, anyway, that's how we are trying to see how different you guys are from each other. I know it's hard for you guys to cope with each other in the same country with different beliefs, with different perspectives. I don't know how you're managing this. Anyway, we wish you luck, Americans, and those who are thinking critically and who are looking at things objectively, those who are ready for change, those who are ready to challenge the system. We wish you luck, and we pray that things will change for the better, because that's what we want to see. Yeah, we want to live in a peaceful world, which is somehow a dream for everyone. And yeah, that was it about this video. Like, subscribe, and share. Do not hesitate to also thank me through the thank button. Somebody said my channel is underrated. What do you think? I appreciate the growth. I appreciate that I am growing the page so rapidly lately, and I'm so glad for that. I appreciate, and the time for it to be rated as it should is coming. I believe that. And yeah, we are doing what we love doing. And yeah, stay tuned for more. I appreciate you.